So my Uncle Reggie never worked. I don't think he would have had that option anyway with his background and shit like that, but he always had a fallback with all the real estate money that he was making. He started off buying shit out in Benicia when Benicia was cheap right before it blew up, and he made a killing with that. And then he started branching out, buying spots in Cordelia and Green Valley. And this is where this story takes place. Green Valley is an area that ain't got a lot out there. It's just got some old houses and some fucking vineyards and shit. But it got a lot of history, that area, but a lot. I don't know if you see my video about Rockville Hills Park. That's that haunted park that all them Indians was murdered in, then did that big mass suicide back in the 1800s, early 1800s. But it's less than half mile from this house. This house also go directly right parallel to the old Spanish road, the old Spanish trail. This been used for thousands of years by the natives, then the Spanish and the Mexicans. And then right behind this house was Falls Elementary School. It was a school that was open, was built in the 1950s, and they closed it like in the 90s. They demolished it like 3 years ago, and these hippies bought it to make a commune out of it. But they pulled out the deal because they had archaeologists come there from UC Davis, and they discovered the entire area was a mass burial ground. Uncle Reggie's house just like 30 yards, 20 yards from this fucking spot. So they a real high likelihood that Uncle Reggie's house built on top of Indian burial ground as well. We don't fucking know. But there was no end of artifacts and shit I find in that backyard. I find arrowheads out there all the fucking time. Yo-Yo was the name of the Sassoon village. It was a fucking ancient village. It was enormous. It was way bigger than regular Native American villages. And it was somewhere in that vicinity. But I haven't even got to the best fucking part. Because Uncle Reggie got a real good deal on that house. And the reason why is because the last two occupants both died there. This old lady, I don't know what was wrong. She was terminally ill. Not sure what it was, but her husband couldn't handle it, and when she died, he fucking killed himself inside that house. And needless to say, Uncle Reggie, he ain't gonna tell me a fucking thing about this. I'm gonna find it out later, much later. But I started figuring things out myself way before then. So Uncle Reggie bought this house, and he has me move in there with him. And I don't know, it's a nice area, blood. It's fucking totally different from Vallejo. It was so peaceful and safe and shit like that. But I never felt right there. This house was always like just cold and uncomfortable. It fucking seemed like it's always dark. And like I said, I just never felt welcome in this fucking house at all. And I don't know if you see my last video about that shit that happened when I was like really young, like 5 years old. And it was fucked up, but whatever was going on inside this house was a lot more intense, and you could really feel it. I remember the first thing that we experienced, that me and Uncle Reggie both fucking experienced, and it happened like goddamn every fucking morning. That whole kitchen would smell like coffee, like real fucking strong, and it didn't make no sense because Uncle Reggie didn't really drink coffee, and I sure as fuck didn't. I was like 11, but it would just take over that kitchen, that smell would. I'm a little kid, so like I don't really fucking figure out what the fuck's going on with it. I think it's kind of weird and shit like that. Uncle Reggie obviously does too, but as time goes on, we just kind of stop worrying about this smell, where it's coming from. But aside from that, it did not take long for me to start noticing other shit going on inside this fucking house. And the biggest thing I saw, like right off the bat, it seemed to be all the fucking time, was like them shadow people, them shadow walkers, whatever you want to call them. And you probably know what I'm talking about. A lot of people experience this kind of thing, like for a lot of different reasons. Like you go into a room where you look at the corner of your eye, you think you see somebody, like a dark silhouette of somebody for like a hot second, and it's gone. I think everybody experiences this sort of thing from time to time in different situations, but inside this house, man, it was not fucking normal. It was constant. It was all the time. Like every time you go into a room, you see this shit. I don't think I really like thought too much of it at the time. It kind of tripped me out and shit. But there was this one particular fucking day, which is when I really started tripping out, because I swear I looked like somebody was trying to turn on a light switch in the fucking living room. Like, I swear it was like a shadow of somebody. I could see it clear as fuck, blood. And it looked like he was reaching for that light switch trying to turn on a light, blood. It's fucking... I know what I saw, blood. I fucking know what I saw. Anyway, I better keep this story a little bit short, so I ain't gonna go into all the details, these small things that was happening, because there was a lot of them. But the next thing that I thought was real fucking significant was I was having nightmares like every night. But it wasn't just like fucking nightmares though. It was when I was waking up was the issue. Because I swear every fucking night when I would wake up from this shit, I see somebody in that room with me, blood, and he was fucking horrific. I mean, I'm waking up and I'm like in that state of half awake, but I'm waking up from fucking nightmares. And I swear every time there's this cat in this fucking room sitting on that old nasty old fucking couch in there, just looking at me. And it'd be one thing if it's just like some green motherfucker, fucking Caspian friendly ghost or something like that. Nah, blood, what the fuck I was seeing, man? It was like something out of a really fucked up movie, blood, like real fucking bad. I'm trying to think how I could describe this motherfucker best way. Like, it looked like some dude who wasn't wearing no fucking shirt. He had like black hair, like real long black fucking hair. But I'm not just like waking up from this shit like scared. I'm screaming bloody fucking murder every time I see this motherfucker. And it's causing Uncle Reggie to have to come in there every night like fucking guns blazing and shit. Eventually, he has enough of this shit. Actually, he really eager to get me out that room. And I'm gonna find out later on why. One day, he real eager to get me the fuck out that room. He puts me in another room, and that shit stops. I mean, stops fucking completely. No more nightmares. No more seeing this guy at all. Never see him anymore after that. Just in that fucking room, when I was sleeping in that room, this, whatever it was, became a big fucking issue. There was this one other night before that shit, before I changed rooms and shit like that, the same fucking thing. I see this cat in that room. I start screaming for Uncle Reggie, but he don't come. I don't know what the situation was. Maybe he wasn't there, just locked his door and snuck out. Maybe he just all fucked up, too fucked up to answer. He just passed out in stupor or something, but he ain't coming. That green motherfucker I see, think I see whatever, but he only there for a hot second, he gone. But I'm like fucking petrified. I'm screaming, Uncle Reggie ain't coming. Take me a while before I get the balls to get out that bed and go look. I go down that hall and I'm so fucking terrified. I go banging on Uncle Reggie's doors, banging, banging, banging. He ain't fucking answering, and I'm just out there so fucking scared. And something amazing happened. I mean, like, amazing in a really fucked up, horrifying kind of way, cause like, I don't know if it's just cause I was so goddamn scared. I was like on peak fucking terror mode. Cause I wasn't going back to that bedroom, but I saw I was going to the front room. I saw I was gonna go to that living room, turn all them fucking lights on, turn that fucking cable TV on, put on some HBO. Didn't give a fuck what time it was. I was gonna watch that shit all night long, blood. I was not going back in that room. I was not going back to bed. And I swear, blood, I don't know, cause I was so fucking scared or what, blood. But it's like I was walking through that house, that living room. For like a second, everything in the house started looking different. I remember real clear, there's like one extra, not a living room, like another, like a spare fucking living room. And it has a window to the outside. And the window was stained glass, blood. It was a normal window, but for that minute when I was walking by and I looked out there, it was a yellow stained glass window. I don't know how to explain this. Everything in the house looked different. The flooring, every fucking thing. And this house was already old. It was out of date. Uncle Reggie wasn't gonna fucking fix it up unless he's gonna sell it. But it looked really fucking old. Like, it did not look the same. It looked like something from fucking decades ago. This shit had me so fucking scared. But like I said, I had nowhere to go. Uncle Reggie ain't fucking there. Maybe he had on Thompson's corner getting drunk. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what time it was. Probably like 2 or 3 in the fucking morning. I have no idea. But I can remember it clear as shit, because I remember sitting down that whole night watching fucking HBO all night till sun came up. I think I started falling asleep then. It's fucking wild, man. So much shit happened in this fucking house. Like, I was telling you that story the other day. It was kind of weird about that girl and the dog getting attacked. But this was so much more fucking intense and so much more constant. Eventually, Uncle Reggie started letting me keep this little tiny ass TV in that room, and it got pretty good antenna. It didn't have no antenna cable in that room, but it had antenna, and I could get Star Trek at night. I watched that shit late at night, and it started becoming a thing like almost every fucking night while I sit there and watch Star Trek, like 11 or 12 o'clock, whatever. You start hearing it sound like some girl in the backyard crying, like moaning and fucking crying. So I had that little TV, and I just turned it up louder so I wouldn't have to hear this shit. And I swear, it would just get louder, blood. This fucking crying would just get louder, and it happened all the fucking time. But I never had the balls to look out that window and see what it was. It was like every room in this fucking house had like its own unique fucking horror thing just to fuck with me. I don't know how to explain it. Every fucking room had something about it that was just fucked up. Uncle Reggie's bedroom wasn't no fucking different. He had that master bedroom. And when he wasn't home, I kick it in there sometimes because it was the only other room in the house that had cable, and he had a bed in there so I could just lounge and watch fucking HBO whatever all day. And this shit happened in there too. It'd be this fucking knocking on the floor underneath the floorboards of that fucking his bedroom. And it happened a lot. I didn't think nothing of it at first, but then it started getting real fucking dramatic one day. Cause like I try to pass it off first, it's an old house, it's pipes or something like that going on. This shit's always happening on Home Alone too, by the way. This shit ain't ever really happened when Reggie there. It's happening when I'm by my fucking self. But this fucking day, man, that bang is going on, like knock, 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 knock. And it keeps happening. It's getting closer and closer to me. And I'm laying in Uncle Reggie's bed. It starts to kind of trip me out. It starts to scare me because it's gotten right underneath the bed where I'm sitting. And it stopped being like knock, knock, knock. It started being more like bang, 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 bang. And it scared me to the point I got off, like I moved on that bed from where I was sitting. And it was like I got in the corner of the room and it was like it cornered me or something. And like when I realized what was going on with this whole fucking thing, I started getting real scared, kind of petrified. I'm standing in the corner of that room. And it went from knocking to banging to straight bang, 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 right under my fucking feet. So like I said, every fucking room, the kitchen, the living room, the bedrooms, everything got something fucked up about it. And then there was this bathroom in the middle of the fucking house, and that was the worst. I don't know what happened in this bathroom. I don't know the significance of it. Maybe that's where that motherfucker killed himself. I have no idea. But something about this bathroom was just fucked up, man. Like real bad, like worse than anything in this house. Man, I would bet you $1 million fucking dollars something real bad happened in that bathroom. It's like you could go in there and just feel it, man. And it didn't do itself any favors, like the way it fucking looked. It had these ugly ass green tiles. It was just fucking nasty. It looked like somebody from like the 50s or 60s, like they would try to do their house up, and they did, and they just left it like that. And it was like one of them abandoned houses or something somebody discovered years later. It's just creepy and old and fucked up. It had this real intense like mildew smell. And this was like the real cold room in that house. Like you always felt cold in there. When you came in here, it was real fucking noticeable. And it didn't make any sense why it was like this. Man, this motherfucker turned into a real long story too, blood. I'm gonna have to cut this down a little bit here, but I want to tell you about the next fucking thing that happened in the house. I mean, it was really fucked up too. Cause as bad and as weird as shit was, it was about to get a whole lot fucking stranger. And I'm trying to remember the exact circumstances of how I went outside that fucking day. I don't remember if I was taking out the garbage or what the fuck I was doing, but I stepped out that front door and there was this lady standing there by the front door, like maybe she was already waiting there for me or something. And I remember the first fucking thing she said to me, she like, oh, I was just about to knock on the door. And I look at this girl, and there's just something ain't right about her neither, blood. Like, she don't look fucking right. She look fucked up, too. She ain't no fucking ghost or nothing. She definitely a real fucking person. But, like, it's like her face is covered in acne. She real pale, too. She got black hair. She real pale. She got real bad acne. Like, it's real kind of off-putting the way she looked. And she weird as fuck, too, on top of that. On top of everything else. It's like the way she come at me, like, it's like she had this shit planned. Like, somehow she knew there would be a little kid living there or something, and how she's gonna come at me like this. I don't know if you ever been in trouble with the cops before or anything like that. You ever go to like therapy or those intervention things, you had to deal with like psychiatrists, therapists and shit. They got techniques and trained ways they talk to kids. And that's kind of like what she was like. And this lady came there with a set goal in mind. Her goal was to get inside that fucking house. She was determined she's gonna get in there. And she talking me, she manipulating my little 11-year-old ass. She sweet talking me. And like normally I ain't gonna let no motherfucker in the house, but she out there for a long time with me. She a woman and she trying to do everything she can do to like obtain my trust and let me in that fucking house. And eventually my stupid ass did. I let her in. She's saying how she used to live there, how it used to be her parents' house, and it was real important she get back inside, and she had some closure to make. Big fucking mistake, player. I'm telling you, big fucking mistake. Cause like, if it was nowadays, I wouldn't even let her ass in. But if I did, I'd have been quick to throw her ass the fuck out the way she was acting. I don't give a fuck if what your situation is. You don't go in someone's house and act like that. But this bitch had a complete fucking mental fucking breakdown in front of my 11-year-old ass in front of the house. Like, she went fucking berserk. On top of all that ghost shit I'm dealing with this motherfucking house, now I got a psycho inside this motherfucker scaring me, blood. She was fucking scaring me, blood. She was fucking scaring me the way she was acting in this house. Like, I don't know what happened to her, what happened to her family in there, but fuck, man. I'm telling you, blood, it was like straight mental institution, complete fucking flip out mode, blood. Like, this bitch was going crazy in this house, screaming, fucking all kinds of shit. At some point, I started asking her to fucking leave. I'm telling Uncle Reggie gonna be home soon. He gonna get mad. She in the house, this and that. Ain't nothing working, blood. She just going crazy, not listening to me. I eventually left the house. I stood out fucking front until this bitch was done doing whatever the fuck she was doing in there and walked out. She didn't say a fucking thing to me when she left either, just walked out. It was fucking bizarre, man. As strange and weird as this whole fucking situation was, it's only gonna get worse from here, Blade. But we're gonna save that for tomorrow, player, because this story gonna get too long. I'm gonna turn this into 2 parts. So come back tomorrow and hopefully I have part 2 of this story. If you're watching this on TikTok, I might have part 2 up already on YouTube. So go to my YouTube, Daryl Sherms. Thank you for watching.